Hi, I'm Mark.
And I'm Stu.
And this is Bad Screenplays.
We've been writing screenplays for years, but couldn't get anyone to read them.
On each episode, I read an unsolicited script.
And I read one. We pull them apart and decide if they're any good, but mostly try and have fun with them.
Maybe these screenplays will attract attention or get greenlit by First Draft Productions, our own fictional production company. I planned on introducing a new segment on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Hear me out. Maybe you've been listening to the podcast and you like it, but you haven't written a screenplay, never written, or never even tried to write a screenplay, or you've got one half written, or you got some ideas. I was going to propose that me and you, Stu, write a couple of dead silly, funny, fake log lines. You make up your own film in a log line. So we'll just write two or three. You can just take an existing one and just change some of the elements of it and stuff like that. But if people want to send us in their bad log lines, please do send them in, and then maybe at the end of the podcast we'll see if we enjoy it, see if it takes off.
Yeah, good idea, very good. Yeah, because like you say, not everyone's got a play ready to send in, but a couple minutes thinking, I'm sure you can come up with a good log line. Definitely.
And I think we'll end up coming up with ones along the lines of youth hosteling with Chris Eubank.
Monkey tennis.
Cooking in prison.
Cooking in prison. Which more and more of these are actually getting made.
There's a list of, I think, Inner City Sumo happened. Youth hosteling with Chris Eubank happened, and cooking in prison happened.
Cooking in prison. It's Accidental Partridge, if no one's heard of it. Alan Partridge. I know he's pretty famous stateside as well. Steve Coogan, Alan Partridge. Mm-hmm. But there's Accidental Partridge, which you'll find on, I think, Reddit, probably Facebook, something like that. Mm. And it's every incident of a presenter or somebody actually doing something Partridge would have done. And it's brilliant. And you see a lot of those TV shows get made that way as well, with these stupid concepts. But someone's commissioning them.
It's great. There's if you're not familiar, there's a TV presenter called Richard Madeley, and I'm not sure who the American equivalent is, but he's basically been presenting a really, really broad, really inoffensive nonsense morning TV show where it's like a couple just talk about just shite, basically. Just talk about general crap.
It's like the fourth hour of the Today Show.
All right, okay, there you go. And this man is Alan Partridge. He even more and more they've written some recent Alan Partridge stuff which isn't as good as the older stuff. But watching Richard Madeley on anything, it's better than any of the stuff that they write nowadays for Alan Partridge. Some of the stuff he comes out with.
It's so good. He's got no filter. His brain just comes out with this stuff. He's talking about quicksand or something, wasn't he? On breakfast television for some bizarre reason. He's talking about quicksand with they come back from commercial. He's going, yeah, it wasn't normal sand, it was quicksand. And I have to tell you what, that is a horrible way to die. Welcome back, everybody. It's 10 a.m. and it's just what are you?
It's he's been on the TV, on the telly for about 30 years. It's just normal for him to be in front of a camera. So he doesn't go, oh, look, the cameras are on. I better, play up for the TV. That's exactly what he's like all the time. So, there was another one I saw on Twitter, and it was ruin a film by changing one letter or adding one letter. I'm just going to read a few of these down now.
Go on.
So we got fantastic breasts and where to find them. Shartnado. Beauty and the Yeast. Harry Potter. Hobocop.
Nice. I'll watch that movie.
This one, depending on how you look at it, it can be quite sexy. How to Drain Your Dragon. Top Nun. Silence of the Lamps. Bill. That's just wrong.
Bill.
The filth element. It's about the filth, innit?
Filth, mate.
Sad Max.
Just depressing.
And lastly but not least, Star Wars: A New Hole. We'll leave that there.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Ben.
This week, I haven't really watched anything. I've dipped in and out of just TV dramas and things. Line of Duty. I don't know if you're a Line of Duty watcher. But
Started watching it recently.
Yeah. Marmite.
Yeah, same. You know, I feel like some parts of it are really good.
Yeah.
And it's like a really compelling, tightly wound story, and then halfway through one of the seasons, it just goes utterly ridiculous and dead far-fetched all of a sudden, and it just rips me out of it. And
season 6 has just started on the BBC, so I watched the first episode of that series.
Yeah,
which was it's alright. You've got to pay attention. Like there's so many acronyms, or I just find myself glazing. You zone out for a second, like you're listening. What's that noise outside? And you come back and they're going, but where is Terry? And you go, Terry? Who's Terry?
Someone's being like cross-examined over the little bit that you missed, and you're like, oh fuck, I didn't see that bit.
Yeah, and that becomes a major plot point, and you're going, oh god damn it. Yeah, so little TV drama. Playing quite a lot of Call of Duty this week.
Oh,
I'm
good.
back in Verdansk, playing.
Have you got a crew, or what's the deal with it? You just blast them around by yourself?
I used to have a crew, actual friends, not just internet people. Like four or five of us, round here, all have PlayStations and Xboxes, and we were like, all right. So we all those were good games,
Nice, yeah.
Got the comms. Yeah, that was good. But everyone's kind of dropped off, and I did too, actually. So now I'm just going solo, just causing havoc and
nice.
shooting down helicopters. Yeah, it's great.
I like it. On the games note, I started to listen to a really good games podcast called Triple Click.
Oh, nice.
It's really good. I think a couple of them are like games writers for Kotaku. I think a few of them were.
Really?
And they're all game journalists. But I'm not playing as many games as I'd probably like to at the minute, because they're just working like crazy hours and with a baby and moving house and all that sort of thing. So I'm only really playing stuff on my Switch. So I played something called Hades recently, which is excellent.
Nice.
But listening to these guys talk about games, it's just dead refreshing. I can get up to date with everything again, like, because I used to read Kotaku religiously and play like the latest bits and bobs, but it's good listening to these guys talk about it and give different insights and all that. And something that totally passed me by was Microsoft bought ZeniMax, which own Bethesda, which creates Elder Scrolls and Fallout and Prey.
Microsoft just bought them.
They bought them last year for $8 billion.
Oh!
Now, put that into context. There might be people listening to this who aren't familiar with Bethesda or Fallout or Elder Scrolls. Disney bought Star Wars for $4 billion. Just, it sort of lays up the gravity of the size of that acquisition.
That's huge, man. That's huge. Double what Disney paid for the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll probably...
Did Lucas get $4 billion from Disney?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then Disney made the first of those films, which was called The Force Awakens, which turned over just in revenue from ticket sales worldwide $1 billion. Yeah. And then that they generally quadruple the film sales, ticket sales on merchandise and on
merchant theme parks.
Exactly. Yeah. They make it back fourfold or whatever. So they made
that's paid for itself, hasn't it? Yeah.
But then if Bethesda releases an Elder Scrolls game in the next year or two, that's going to go and sell 20 million, 30 million copies at £60, $70 a pop, So, it's going to add up somewhere down the line. They know what they're doing.
Fallout is huge as well. And that's serious merch too. That's not just games. There's a whole world of revenue streams for that, It's
an identifiable brand as much as it's a game, isn't it? It's like It's kind of like Final Fantasy or Zelda now, isn't it? Fallout.
Yeah.
I mean, as is the Elder Scrolls, it's not as well known, but Skyrim was an absolute juggernaut of a game. It just kept going and going and going. People are like still buying it now on Switch and stuff. But yeah, that's what I've been doing this week, listening to Triple Click Podcast. Really good.
Nice. Very good.
Speaking of podcast, Stu, we've got one, haven't we?
We have got a podcast, and you're listening to it right now.
You certainly are. I'm going to read a couple of scripts.
We're going to read some scripts, and the first one, I'm reading the first one, right?
Why not? I don't know. Go for it.
Last week you read Sea Level Threat, and then I read Alien Hospital.
No.
No? Oh, no. Ignore me.
You read Lord of the Rings 2. And I read Time Machine, like the crumpled up cardboard time machine.
That's right. So you are going first this week with the script that I have sent you called, and this isn't any old script. This is by Jonny Blaze.
This is by Jonny Blaze.
Jonny Blaze, and it's his 2011 screenplay, Castle Trouble.
Castle Trouble. In case you missed what happens at the beginning, I read the screenplay I've never seen before. Me and Stu talk about it, and then Stu reads the screenplay he's never read before, and we talk about it, and we have a little bit of fun.
That's it.
And so, Jonathan Blaze is Ghost Rider, isn't it?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think instead of Anon, a lot of screenwriters make up a name.
Or just steal one from Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't do a Nicolas Cage impression.
I'm a vampire. Have you seen that?
What's that? I have.
I just googled Nicolas Cage overacting, and one of them was, I'm a vampire. I don't know no idea what film it's off.
Nicolas Cage, I'm a vampire. Oh, I love it.
Well, there we go. Thanks, Nicolas Cage. Apparently, on Ghost Rider, I can't remember if it's the first or the second one. I haven't actually seen the films. They got like so far into production, and it turns out they overspent, and so they didn't have enough money for a big helicopter crash scene. And Nicolas Cage decided it was pivotal to the film, and so got them to work out how much it was going to cost. It was going to cost construction, special effects, VFX, and everyone else. I say it was going to cost an extra like $2.5 million just for this set piece. He paid for it himself out of his own pocket.
What?
Yeah, serious.
For 5% of merch and an executive producer credit.
Probably, yeah. And he gets 10p every time someone says Jonny Blaze out loud.
He gets 50p every time someone shouts, I'm a vampire.
I'm a vampire!
Okay, Jonny Blaze,
let's get on.
Castle Trouble.
Let's go. Fade in. External Scottish castle night. Thunder and lightning crash across the sky. A horse-drawn carriage waits near the heavy wood and iron door. The castle is obviously abandoned. Obviously. Flicker of candlelight can be seen from an upper window. Spooky. It starts to rain. Can you hear that rain, Stu?
Oh, it's drumming down, isn't it?
It really is. Internal Scottish castle night. Danny and Connor walk slowly down the long hallway. They're carrying a large bag between them and admiring the suits of armour and various treasures that line the hallway. Though they are in their late 20s, their bag is straining them. Oh, okay, so it's heavy bag. Danny, Connor, this place gives me the creeps. You have got bad timing to suggest these trips.
Oh,
okay. Okay, it's like George Lucas dialogue. Danny drops his half of the bag. It lands on his foot. Danny continued, ouch, that bag is heavy.
Oh, God.
Connor's trying not to laugh. Why did you stop, you weakling? Danny, 'cause it's heavy. Danny puts his hand up, quieting Connor. The thud of heavy footsteps comes from just out of their candlelight. Okay. Danny, what is that, Connor? Thunder rolls in the distance, and rain is blown against the window. Connor holds his candle in the space between their faces. It's the weather, little brother. There's a rolling crash of thunder. During the thunder, a voice is heard. Ghost. Character's called
The Ghost. Character's called Ghost.
Character's called Ghost.
In a Scottish castle.
Oh, so it's a Scottish ghost.
Scottish ghost.
Leave this place now. Scottish castle. Reminds me of the setting reminds me of the Highlander.
Oh yeah.
I love the Highlander so much, man. It's so good. Where you're from, Nash? Lots of different places. It's basically trying to... Well, wherever Christopher Lambert was from, he definitely wasn't from Scotland.
No, definitely not.
I think they tried to make out that he had this peculiar Eastern European accent, or wherever he's from. I have to Google that. And they just palmed it up by saying, oh yeah, he's lived for a few hundred years, he's been all over the world, and so he's got a non-discernible accent. Anyway, let's move on. Scottish ghost. Leave this place now. Connor's candle begins to shake. Danny nods in approval. That sounded like a voice. Connor drops his half of the bag. Who's scared now, big brother? Connor, come on, help me pick this up and let's get out of here. They pick up the bag and turn. There's a flash of lightning. In the mirror is a reflection of a Scottish noble in full kilt and dress.
I'm telling you to fucking stand up, you sack of fucking cunt. Stand the fuck up.
Everything about the man is regal, except the features of a long dead man. A long dead man? Or a long dead man. He's just a long man who's dead.
Yeah.
Cheekbones like razors. Death grey skin. And the major fact that he is transparent.
Oh, there's that. He's transparent.
And the major fact that he's transparent, of course. Danny and Connor look at the mirror and then each other, and the ghost disappears. Danny. Connor. Yes, Danny. Was there just a man in the mirror?
Man in the mirror.
Talking.
Tune, lad.
It's Michael Jackson in a kilt. That would be fucking terrifying. Danny. Was there just a man in the mirror that disappeared? Connor. I saw it too, brother. There's a huge thunder crash. A nearby window blows open. Danny and Connor glance at each other. Stark terror in their eyes. Danny and Connor together. Let's go now! Danny and Connor hobble down the hallway, struggling to hold onto their bag. An orb of light appears in front of Danny and Connor. It slowly transforms into the ghost. Now that is quite scary, actually, isn't it? I think I'd probably shit me pants if I saw that.
Drop the bag. Must be something important in the bag if they're...
There must be. It's heavy as well.
Yeah.
Danny and Connor are transfixed by the amazing sight. They are now standing face to face with a long dead Scottish noble. A ghost.
Oh!
A bony finger points at them. The ghost speaks in a booming tone that travels through the whole castle.
Where do you think you are? It's some fucking Regency costume drama.
Oh, man.
A big booming Scot. I can't help but think of Malcolm Tucker. Can't help it. Scottish voice just goes straight to Malcolm Tucker.
Oh, you have to do that now.
Stand in the corner! Stand in the corner! Or I will perform a fucking living autopsy on you.
I just want everyone to be aware that I'm about to use some rather violent sexual imagery. And I just wanted to make sure everyone was okay with that. Graphic, violent sexual imagery. Is that what he said? Something like that.
I think so, yeah.
He's got so many good quotes, man.
It's non-stop. I think a while ago I looked up Malcolm Tucker's best quotes, and the video was about 15 minutes long, and each clip was about 3 seconds long, and it was just one after another, bang bang.
How much is ad-lib and how much is written by Iannucci?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, in order for him to embody that character so well and for it to have that feel, some of it's got to be ad-libbed, but then every time I've seen Armando Iannucci on long form conversations, he's just an exact line between Alan Partridge and Malcolm Tucker.
Really? Yeah.
He's got that brilliantly sort of playful, silly Alan Partridge side, but then that sort of whiplash wit and
I'll cut you in half. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a lot of them will have been written ready to like, be teed up, but then I think obviously the delivery and the whole motion and the way he behaved, Malcolm Tucker's, that's part of it as well, isn't it?
It was either written for Capaldi or like Peter Capaldi's a freaking genius, or both is true. Like he just plays it so well. And you know what? Yeah. I love Thick of It and In the Loop. And Tucker is, you know, I quote him, I wouldn't say daily, but at least weekly with my friend. I say, fuckity bye. Every time I hang out with a friend of mine, come the fuck in or fuck the fuck off.
You need to be in the right company to quote Malcolm Tucker.
You do. But through work, we had a lot of political stories over the last year or two in London. And one of our regulars on the set was Alastair Campbell.
Oh, shit.
The real-life embodiment of Malcolm Tucker. So I'm there, standing there, I put a microphone on, I put a mic on Mr. Campbell, get him all set up and, you know, get him ready to go on TV.
Yeah.
And I just stand back and I'm just sort of, I'm doing that thing where, like, some groupie would stare at like a member of One Direction. They're just like, I'm just my head's down, but my eyes are like looking up slightly. I'm like, there he is, it's Malcolm Tucker. Surreal Malcolm Tucker.
No way.
He's so nice though.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's really nice.
Oh,
but that's almost the half of the enjoyment. Like, you know, back at his, it's like meeting a boxer who's retired. You know, you're in awe of what they were.
Yeah.
What, you know, so at the time, you know, the power and the
that's how he mostly pops up nowadays. But I imagine when he was in number 10, when he was in that role, when it was like an insane pressure, when he was dealing with like firefights, when he's firefighting daily, you know that's exactly what he was like. Just like
exactly, yeah.
Amazing.
I love it.
It's so good. Right. Okay. A bony finger points at them. The ghost speaks in a booming tone that travels through the whole castle. Fuck the fuck off!
I think you're going to have to smatter this dialogue with top swearing.
I'm going to sprinkle it with some acerbic sort of sprinkles.
Graphic sexual imagery.
What did you ask for in the barber's Disney fucking print? The ghost draws his sword and screams a battle cry in an unknown tongue.
How the fuck can you talk to me, you stupid cunt? How am I supposed to control what's going on if I don't know what the fuck is going on?
I will summon more, leave now. The ghost glides towards Danny and Connor. They run back where they came. Flashes of lightning illuminating every step. The ghost follows as Danny and Connor knock down suits of armour and various other treasures in their panicked run. They shoulder block a door, trying to force it open. Danny points to an open door across the hall. There, Connor! They trip over their bag, landing on the rich carpet with a thud. Terrified beyond words, they look at the approaching ghost and then their bag. Connor, grab the bag! Grabbing their hand holds, Danny and Connor crawl into the room and slam the door. First Draft Productions, that's the way it's going to be said.
Yeah.
That's it, as seen. There is heavy breathing and silence. The room disappears into blackness. Big game trophy room, internal. There's a flash of lightning which illuminates the murky depths. Well, we're essentially proofreading this for Jonny Blaze, aren't we?
We are, yeah. You're welcome, Johnny.
Acting as script editors for this person. We'll send them our notes. Big game of every variety adorns the room. A full-size bear is standing over them. Danny and Connor. I remember seeing on was it The Trip, the film version of The Trip, where Rob Brydon did an impression of it. He said, would you like to see my Steve Coogan impression? He just goes, Realising the animals are dead, they both stop screaming. Danny and Connor look around the room, embarrassed, though they are alone. Their attention stops on the door. It's a big, heavy and old door, enough to stop a strong man in his tracks. Connor, that door would stop any man. But there's no way it'll stop a ghost. The ghost floats through the door.
Of course he does.
That was good comedy time. Danny slowly turns to Connor. You're right about that. Let's go! Ghost, you can't hide from me. Danny and Connor struggle with their bag. Connor, I think he's right. Danny and Connor get the bag up on their shoulders and run out of the room, knocking over the bear on their way.
Oh.
I worked as a joiner on End of the Road Festival once, and they had a massive bear. Like, it was huge. It was about 9 foot tall.
Really?
And the art department, they did a fantastic job. But it was covered in plaster and then painted, and it was slowly like leaning forward. And the next day it was leaning forward even more. The next day it was leaning further forward. It looked like it was lurching, and there's people stood there getting photos taken, and I was like, oh my god, that's gonna kill someone.
Yeah. Put a time lapse camera on that, because that's coming down. Oh man.
They had to like get like a cane that the bear was holding a walking stick and prop it up, shove the cane under its arm,
like they do with old trees. They give it a little crutch.
Yeah. They also had this old Jaguar that they used at parts of every exhibition. If you Google Ends of the Road, you'll see a picture of this Jaguar because they use it every year. And they put it out in the main field in front of them, like the sign for the main stage for the first time, as opposed to out the way. And within hours, there was kids jumping up and down.
Really?
Yeah. People just letting the kids let loose on this old Jag. We had to get rid of it because one of them was going to end up going through the windscreen.
Freaking animals. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's like it's white and black. Yeah, nice.
Dangerous. Oh, you're looking?
Yeah, I just had a look, Jag.
Yeah. I think, what year did I work
Chopping
there?
up and down the roof.
Oh man, I was going to injure someone. Okay. Cut to Castle Kitchen. Danny and Connor heave the bag over a large stone counter and dive over after it. Danny, you're the older brother, Connor. What in the bloody blazes do we do? There's a huge ruckus of pots, pans, etc. crashing against the stove. POV, Connor looking around the counter. The ghost breezes through the room. Everywhere it goes, the metal flies, ricocheting off the walls. At nearly deadly speed. It's like poltergeist stuff, like throwing pans across the room and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Clang.
Yeah, they're talking about this quite a lot. Whoa, was that you, Stu?
What?
That Battersea Poltergeist podcast I was listening to, which is genuinely quite fucking upsetting, goes into detail about this girl that was like the focus of a poltergeist, and the ghost obsessed over her, but was throwing things across the room, and the family responded by calling the ghost Donald.
Donald,
and there's voice actors, and it's just Donald, isn't it? And there's like a skeptic uncle. It can't be a ghost, surely not. There's no such thing as ghost. And then the girl's like, no, it's just Donald.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of it that, and it's horrible.
Jeez.
Connor ducks behind the counter. The ghost gives a bone rattling scream. Danny and Connor cover their ears, wincing in pain. Ghost, you will die. Wow. Connor, no death for us tonight, thanks. Grab the bag, Danny.
Just calm, cool.
Yeah, he's quite chipper.
Yeah.
They run out to the kitchen, dodging the kitchen projectiles. Castle Hall. Danny and Connor drag the bag down the hall, their footfalls heavy with fear and exhaustion. Danny. Connor, yes, dearest brother. If you get out of here, Connor, I'm going to kill you. Violin music creeps into the background. Danny and Connor proceed without noticing it. Danny stands up straight, a confused look on his face. I hear violin music. You would poo your pants, wouldn't you?
Oh my god.
You're in a castle being chased by Malcolm Tucker Ghost, and you hear violin music.
And you heard that? Yeah, oh yeah. Nope.
Connor drops the bag and slumps his shoulders. Danny jumps back from a foot crushing. Connor, bloody hell. Where's it coming from? They look at the banquet room doors at the end of the hallway. Lightning flashes silently. They simultaneously point to the door. Danny, Connor, there. Now dragging their bag, they begin to walk. Lightning increases as they get closer to the doors. Danny, stupid question, Connor, but Why are we walking towards this? Connor, we have to go through there to get to the other side of the castle, little brother. Thunder crashes, sending him running through the doors. Smash cut 2. I'm still not familiar with what a smash cut is, you know.
I think it's like a sudden thing. So if you go, like, yeah, there's no way I'm getting on that train. No way. I'm not getting on that train. And then it goes like, just click the frame and there you are. You're sitting on the train.
Oh, okay.
Isn't
no
that
transition, no introduction to the scene. No, introduction to
no,
the scene.
just you're straight into it. Like,
it sounds like as good a suggestion as any, man. It sounds like
right.
I'm gonna have to look into that one actually.
Yeah.
It sounds like something like an action film, but obviously terminology in film and TV is very specific. It doesn't necessarily mean what it sounds like, does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, there's a role I learned fairly recently in film and TV of best boy. And best boy isn't necessarily always a male. You can have a female best boy.
Sure.
And that just doesn't make an awful lot of sense to me.
And they just sit in the corner wearing a crown, looking smug.
Or you just give the best boy role to like a Labrador. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, he's the best boy.
He's a good boy.
On his collar just says best boy.
Everyone's pleased to see him.
Oh, he's so good today, wasn't he? Yeah, he's the best.
That'd be awesome. And on the credit, it's just one name because it's a dog.
Just like Archie.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good job, and it's a really difficult job, and it's something to do with electrics and lighting, isn't it?
What does it do? I don't know what Best Boy does.
Need to Google it now.
That's so Reddit. Good boy. Oh my god. This good boy. Ugh.
Best boy is a crew member who serves as the chief assistant to either the gaffer or the key grip.
Chief assistant to the gaffer.
Or the grip.
A best boy.
Do you know, it's like a well-paid job.
Do these names, like these job titles, they must come from the early days of film in Hollywood or something like it?
Yeah, surely. They have to, don't they? And they've just stuck around.
Yeah.
Like the grip is just the guy who grips the track for the camera together, isn't he? Is that right?
Is it? I don't know. I thought grip was... and this is why we've never...
I work on film sets for a living.
I know. And I work on TV. Grip, when we talk about grip in television, grip is anything like clamps, boom arms, light stands, like mechanisms to hold up antenna, lights, cameras. Tripod would not really be grip, but I don't know. It must be different in film.
Yeah, surely it does, doesn't it? I don't know. I've usually done my job and then we bugger off and then the crew turn up and with all the strange job titles.
You go take the best boy for a walk.
Oh, the best boy shit again.
Yeah, you got a bag. Poo bag.
Or they bring like tea and coffee and then there's like a little box of treats for the best boy. Castle, banquet hall. An undead waltz is in full swing. It's got a bit Disney haunted house now, isn't it?
An undead waltz?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Okay.
A load of ghosts doing a waltz. That is a lot.
It's not Christoph Waltz.
An undead Christoph waltz. No way, that would be great.
Yeah.
The band, dancers, and guests are all ghosts. Danny and Connor try to walk through the party. Yeah, obviously that's what you're gonna do. Danny catches a female ghost's eye. She's beautiful, aside from the fact that she's transparent and glowing. Female ghost, how about a dance, mister? With a scream, Danny and Connor hoist the bag and run towards the doors to the far side of the hall. The female ghost cackles as she transforms into a near skeleton. Okay. The other ghosts join in an undead laugh. They're getting pranked by ghosts and laughed at, buzzed off. Chases Danny and Connor out of the room. Danny and Connor slam the heavy door behind them. Past the staircase. They are in a staircase and not the anticipated from room exit. The spiral staircase goes up, way up. Danny Where did you take us, Connor? You can't get out. Connor looks upwards at the impressive staircase. We go up.
We go up.
They grunt. There you go. They grunt and hoist the bag to their shoulders. Danny in front, Connor in the back. Slowly, they start up the stairs. Cut to external castle turret night. The full moon shines on the open tower. Danny and Connor stumble out of their staircase, barely holding their prize bag. Danny and Connor put the bag down and begin looking for a way out. POV Connor looking over the side, seeing a very shallow, half-dry moat. He's gonna jump. Connor, it's a long shot, but there's a moat. Let's jump, Danny. Danny,
You're gonna break your neck.
You're gonna break your neck or your legs.
Yeah.
Danny, I love you, brother, but you're crazy.
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
I like you, but you're crazy. What's that from?
You have balls. I don't know.
You're crazy. I like you. You're crazy.
What is it? I don't know. You're gonna leave it there then. I like balls.
Yeah.
The ghost rises through the floor. Danny and Connor jump back, almost falling over the side. Ghost, you will never leave here. Connor, what do you want? What did you want?
What do you want?
What do you want? The ghost. Do you ever do that? Like say the same sentence over and over in as many different contexts as possible?
Yeah.
I think that I do that quite a bit.
That's a great line on that Mid-Morning Matters, where Alan's trying to do a who do you think you are? BBC heritage kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't translated to the voiceover artist who recorded it. Like, who do you think you are? Sounds like she's being touched up on a bus.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Who do you think you are? So you could say, like, the ghost says, you stole from me, you are cursed. And then Danny says, we're sorry. And you could just say that in any context, couldn't you?
Yeah. We're sorry.
We're sorry.
Yeah, right.
We're sorry. Yeah, you can do it in loads of different contexts. Ghost. Cursed, I say. Oh, sorry. Cursed, I say. Fucking cursed. Connor, I'm jumping. Connor leaps over the side with Danny close behind. Oh no, did he jump? POV Connor. The pathetic moat is coming up fast. It's something to a moat, isn't it? Internal.
I'm thinking of Hans Gruber jumping off of...
Oh, it's slow motion.
Yeah, with the legs and arms just flailing.
Yeah. It's proper iconic, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Slow-mo. Amazing. What a film.
Yeah.
I find as many different contexts I can say. If something like falls over or something bad happens or someone does something like they didn't mean to, and I love saying, and the quarterback is toast. Oh, that's great.
Very good.
Internal castle banquet hall. The undead waltz is in full swing. Danny and Connor are at the centre of it all. Only now, they are the same glowing pallor of death. Female ghost glides to Danny. Female ghost, couldn't stay away from that dance, could you? Danny and Connor notice their new complexions, then look at each other. Cut to black over Danny and Connor's screen.
We never found out what was in the bag.
We didn't find out what was in the bag. It was the ghost wanted what was in the bag. The Scottish Malcolm Tucker, undead long Scotsman Michael Jackson ghost.
And they wanted it so bad they died for it.
Must have been valuable because they knocked over loads of other valuables, didn't they?
Yeah.
Danny's very frightened, Connor's not afraid. Danny's a little weakling, he's dropped his bag again. There's an angry Scottish ghost now, playing scary games. Connor runs off down the hall, Danny is scared again.
reminded me. I say I once upon a time got obsessed with Impractical Jokers, but I generally just watch it all again because it's the only thing that is guaranteed to make me laugh at the most extreme point of laughter. Honestly, God, it kills me. Have you watched much? Some people are like not that bothered by it.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it? Oh my God, it just destroys me. You know the premise?
No.
Okay, very quickly. It's a group of friends from New York. They're all like in their 40s, and they're all like a little bit bro-ish, but then you kind of get to know them, and you sort of you get more familiar with them, and they're quite cool, and they're really funny guys. And they basically like prank each other in ways that they set up a situation, and one of the friends has to react to the situation. So, for example, they'll be in the middle of like a Central Park, and one of them will have a megaphone to his mouth, but then the rest of them will have a microphone attached to the megaphone, so they're saying what's coming out the megaphone mouth. And so like they'll say like inappropriate things. It looks like they're saying it, and then if you pull the megaphone away from your mouth, you fail. Or they'll do one where it's like a product sort of. What's it called when you get people in to review?
Like a focus group.
Focus group. They do loads of focus groups with PowerPoint presentations, and they'll get everyone and they go, "Hi, my name's Sal. We're just going to talk about a new product that I've been working on. I've got this PowerPoint presentation here, so let's just work through it." But he hasn't made the PowerPoint presentation, the other guys have, and a lot of it's like dead embarrassing, dead offensive, and it looks like he's done it,
and he's got to own it to the group. He's got to be like, "Well, I did this because oh no." Nice.
It's so good. And some of the sort of acts that they do, and some like the bits and bobs that they set up are better than others, but generally speaking, it's so funny. Like it's ridiculously funny.
Where can I watch it? Netflix?
It is on True TV. You might not get it on. Oh God, you might get some of it on Netflix. There's about 11 seasons of it. They just churn it out.
Nice.
I think you might get like seasons 4, 5, and 6 or whatever on Netflix or something like that.
Cool. All right, I'm on that. I'll watch that.
Watch it and report back.
I will.
Because this reminded me of one of the forfeits. I don't know what it's even we're talking about this now. The forfeits are fucking horrific, honest to God. Like, and they have to do the forfeits. They don't get
worse than the humiliation on Kenny versus Spenny.
Oh man, it's up there, Like for one of the forfeits, one of them had to get a massive tattoo of what's his name, Jaden Smith, on his leg. And they just like that was funny to all of them. And you see, he's still got this tattoo of Jaden Smith. I was like,
still got it.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. You just said that. You made me think of something. A year or so ago, I must have stumbled across something like that, and it was the most ridiculous TV show where two people choose a tattoo for the other person.
What?
And then they unveil it. Like, they don't see it getting done.
Oh my!
And the first time they see it, they reveal it in front of the cameras, and it's just they're horrible.
Oh,
there's
man.
some horrible, and people lose their shit.
and you would
Tattoo.
what?
Hold on. What was it? That tattoo show. Surprise. Okay, I'm gonna just send you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna send you like the worst tattoo that I think I saw on this show.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. I'm ready.
And the guy didn't know it was.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's his belly button.
I thought. So is it like a prank show?
Yeah, I think it's like. I think it's called Just Tattoo of Us.
That is,
man.
That's
I don't know how it's an MTV show. I don't know how it was allowed to get made, or if maybe they're not real. They look real.
Yeah.
And there must be some, I don't know, claws or something. I don't know, but they're brutal.
I remember you sent me a photo a little while ago of somebody who went. Or did I send you? Did you send me? I can't remember. Somebody went to a Lost Prophets gig. got the autograph of Ian Watkins on their arm and said, I didn't want to wash this off, but I was really struggling to keep it on my arm, so I went to the tattoo parlour and got it tattooed on me so I could wash the ink off.
Oh no.
Ian Watkins.
Ian Watkins, the worst human being ever
born. And then poor Ian Watkins hates from Steps, so you got terrorised for years after that.
Yeah, exactly. Ian Watkins, the Welsh musician. They were like, well, it must be him.
Yeah.
Get him.
Oh, he's Welsh as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was part of the confusion. Yeah.
And that guy from Steps looks like genuinely the nicest, most inoffensive person as well. He seems just a lovely guy.
Yeah. If you broke down, he'd probably stop and offer you a lift.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Oh, that's horrible. Horrible. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
So, Stu, I've sent you a script.
All right, you've sent me a script.
Oh, this was received by somebody from Reddit.
Oh, I saw this ping into the inbox, but you messaged me saying you were going to send it to me, so I haven't read it.
I saw it straight away, read it. It's only 6 pages. It's great. It's from Loraine McBarron. So Loraine saw our post and sent us this, and I read it straight away, and it's excellent. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Loraine. Yeah, One Spot Left in Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
By Loraine McBarron. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Internal, large open room, day. Matt, 24, awakens on a barren floor. He sits up and looks around, dazed. He then sees something off screen. Matt's POV. Far across the windowless room, Colin, 25, is also waking up on the floor. Matt. Colin? Colin.
See you later, Colin.
What's that?
See you later, Colin. Colin.
That's right. Colin. Huh?
That's Alan Partridge again.
Yeah,
Text.
sorry. Text. See you, Colin. Oh, little bitty chef. Colin's groggy eyes find Matt. Matt? Colin looks around, taking in the barren walls, the nondescript ceiling, and the lack of obvious exits. Colin. Where the hell are we? Hey, your guess is as good as mine, says Matt. Matt stands up, crosses the room, and offers his hand to Colin. Piss off, says Colin.
Oh, fucking hell.
Ooh. Colin stands and slaps Matt's hand away. Hey, what's your deal, bro? No, he doesn't. What's your deal? Says Matt. My deal? I just awoke in a strange room with a bastard I can't stand and no idea how either happened. Look around you, says Matt. No doors, no windows. How would you get in here? And for what possible purpose?
Is this like the room on the Matrix then where it's just all white? There's just nothing.
Not like this.
Not like this.
Yeah, the holding room. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of simulation hypothesis?
I have. It's on that End of the World podcast with Josh Clark.
I still need to listen
You
to that
really,
one.
really do. It's so good that we are all living inside a
simulation.
A simulation.
Apparently, some people believe, not many, but there's enough. And I feel like over the past year, this pandemic has brought out all the conspiracy theories. It's like someone shaking the bottle and they've all just risen to the top. The simulation hypothesists who are reacting to COVID think that the simulation we're living in has contracted a computer virus. And that's what COVID is. It's a computer virus.
The way, if you were living in a simulation, there could be millions of simulations running simultaneously. This one happens to have this virus it's just so interesting. I'm definitely not a conspiracy theorist at all. I just like science and philosophy and that kind of thing. But that was one of the really interesting ones from that Josh Clark podcast where he was
saying, that down.
End of the World with Josh Clark.
Absolutely.
You'll come away going, we don't need AI. Fuck.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Because you've mentioned this a couple of times, and I've heard other people mention this on other podcasts, and it seems to be creeping in about how we need to be kind to AI, because they'll be able to scan back at infinite speed at everything that's ever been recorded.
And if you think about it, it's not going to happen slowly. They say the last thing that we need to do is create a really good piece of AI, because then it just creates the next version and the next version, and you're hands off, like.
yeah.
So
some I don't know who it was, created a fairly rudimentary piece of AI, and in order to test it, they put it into Super Mario and got it to run through the first original NES Super Mario, and Mario was the AI.
Really?
And instantly just stopped, because it was like the input command for it to walk forward, input command to jump on a Goomba.
Right.
And then it was like a little voice saying, what will happen if I jump on the Goomba? And then it realised, but surely the Goomba will die. And it didn't want to kill the Goomba, because it was rationalising.
Whoa.
Instantly go, well, what's the ramifications of this? Why do I do this? What happens when I do this? What happens when I do that? And it didn't want the Goomba to die. It's like, why do we need to delete that?
But if you'd told it, like, its sole purpose as a program was to get to the end of the thing, like, it would do whatever it had to do.
I think it would do, yeah. But it was rationalising right from the start, like, well, why do I need to do this? And that's what happens when I do this sort of thing.
I love that was it Facebook that did it? They created like 2 supercomputers with AI, and they just had them start to talk to each other.
Oh yeah.
And they're watching it going, this is great, look, it's responding. And then they can see it talking, and then the language changed, and they couldn't understand them anymore, but they were still talking. They were like, quick, turn it off. Get Mark, get Zuckerberg.
Oh my God, yeah. And they pull the cord and they just carry on talking.
I think it was Facebook, yeah. It's like, turn it off.
It's like when you're in the company of 2 people who speak a different language and they want to talk about you, so they just speak in French.
Yeah. Right. Colin grabs Matt by the collar, pissed. I don't know. You tell me, says Colin. Colin, get your hands off me, says Matt. Colin cocks fist back. I was going to hit him. Where are me? What?
Should that be we?
We. Colin, where are we? An obviously trans woman, Mary, 30s, suddenly appears out of thin air. Clad in a sexy, glittery white gown.
Oh, shit.
Mary. Good evening, gentlemen. Matt and Colin, startled, back away. I apologise for my delayed arrival. The stables in heaven had an issue that required my attention. Stables? Mucking out.
Yeah.
I trust that what I walked in on was just a mere disagreement. Violence is not tolerated here. And where is here exactly? Asks Colin. Well, purgatory, says Mary. The domain between heaven and hell.
Do you remember that gig venue in Liverpool, Heaven and Hell?
No.
Oh, was it? Oh man, it was awful. It was
Where
Heaven
was
spelled
that?
H-E-V-N. Heaven.
And H-L-L for hell.
Yep. Just
Really?
Like that. Oh,
Yeah.
that was just some shitty little rock club that was filthy. Yeah.
Heaven and hell.
Heaven. I wonder if they on this where Mary just said violence is not tolerated. I wonder if it's like on Red Dwarf, where if you like try to burn someone, then your arm goes on fire or something like that. Like I was.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
If I smash a bottle over your head, then the bottle smashes over my head.
Just lands on you. Yeah. I used to watch a lot of Red Dwarf.
Oh, I was obsessed with it for so long. Like growing up, like watch cartoons and stuff and kids programs, but I think you will have been the same. But me and my brother, we basically just watched Red Dwarf and Bottom.
Yeah,
just like stupid, like sort of, British sitcoms that were a bit daft and a bit silly. At like 10 years of age, we were obsessed with it.
Oh, it's great, wasn't it, though?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The purgatory. A chart suddenly appears in Mary's hand. She looks at it. Mary. Matthew Langston and Colin Roberts. I need you to both listen closely. Failing to do so could cost you for a long time to come. With that said, do you want the good or the bad news first? Good or bad news? Good news. Matt and Colin glance at one another. Clear disdain. Mary. He did say the two of you don't care for one another. What do you mean he? Says Matt. Well, God, of course. Colin rolls his eyes. Matt frowns, concerned. Oh, so God's a he.
Okay.
Matt. Are we dead? Well, that remains to be seen, says Mary. Colin. Explain. Now.
So are they like purgatory, do you think?
I think they're in the waiting room, aren't they?
Purgatory? Like in
Is that-
Beetlejuice,
yeah.
where they just live in the attic, live in the loft.
Wasn't there like a waiting room? Like a council waiting room in Beetlejuice?
I think there
like
was.
A fan going, like people coming in and out and...
And it was like some people there. Oh, no, that was going into hell, wasn't it? I think with people with like knives sticking out of their heads and stuff.
Yeah.
Or like people with like no arm and no head and stuff.
She's no in heaven. She's in the other place.
She doesn't like it.
She's downstairs. She doesn't like it. Limit. Well, listen. Since you asked so nicely, says Mary, I'll start with the bad news. Both of you are, in fact, deceased, and there's only one more spot left in heaven before we meet today's quota. The good news is that one of you will be getting that spot. The shocking news hits both men hard. They take several beats to process it. Matt then humbly looks at Mary, asking, where does the other one go? The one who doesn't go to heaven. Really? Says Colin. It's got to be spelled out for you, numbnuts. Mary, so who's it going to be? Which of us gets that spot?
So there's a specific amount of number of people that are allowed to die on a certain day. And then the quota's just one off, and there's these two guys just unlucky enough to be in the situation.
That you exactly. They can only let in so many people into heaven each day. If I was Matt or Colin, I'd just wait the 12 hours until the next day's quota opens up. And they could both just go to heaven.
Yeah, just like filibuster for a couple of hours and just like...
lie down on the grass in my trunks.
But like,
yeah.
don't people get stuck in purgatory? Isn't that talking about ghosts? Isn't that what ghosts are meant to be? People stuck in purgatory.
No, Mark, it's all made up.
I believe in crystal skulls.
Sorry, science. Sorry, logic. All the other stuff, yeah, but come on, Mark, crystal skulls.
Oh, it's so good. But like, I mean, you know, I'm one of those people who doesn't really believe in anything. Like, I don't believe in ghosts. I don't.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So I don't believe in any of that stuff. But it's like I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but I like them. You know?
Right. Oh yeah, 100%. It's not that I don't believe in conspiracy theories and things like that. I think it's perfectly reasonable for people or groups to do things like, you know, and keep it a secret, you know, for a different motive. I think I know how people work and how unlikely it is for that many people to get together and effectively do something.
Yeah.
that you know,
Definitely.
like they can't no one can organize anything.
You're right.
You really
You're
think
spot
they got it all sorted for these other things?
Totally.
Really?
I couldn't agree with you more. I've heard so many people saying about like, oh yeah, I don't think I'm going to get this vaccine because it's got like microscopic nanobots that are going to control your all family. And you're like, this government can't organise like anything. Like, they can't organise a single thing. So how the fucking hell could they organise something so advanced? Like, it's just impossible. But talking about purgatory, I was listening to this ghost podcast and it's just got me thinking of stuff. Imagine, like, you were haunted. Imagine your house was haunted. Like, you don't get to decide who's haunting you, do you? You know, and then my mind instantly wanders to all of these horrible dead celebrities that we talk about.
Oh, God.
Imagine being haunted by, like, again, my mind just wanders to Michael Jackson because he's fucking terrifying. Imagine being haunted by Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Or, like, is Rolf Harris still alive? Is he dead?
Harris is alive.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah. Harris is
They're
alive. Oh my God. Yeah.
I need to Google that. Was he still alive? There was a part of his case. Again, he's committed some absolutely horrendous crimes. Like, oh my God. He was given an MBE, an OBE, and a CBE in his life.
Really? He got all three?
Yeah. And he only got 5 years. What the fuck?
Really? He painted like an official portrait of Her Majesty as well. So, like, that's...
Oh my God.
It's mad, isn't it? Like, yeah, that whole period, that whole 70s,
Yuck.
60s, 70s, oh, yuck, right?
But he said one of the parts of his case was he was meant to have assaulted somebody in Cambridge at a certain time, and it was really horrible. And he turned around and he said, "Ha! I've never even been to Cambridge, so there's no way I could have committed that crime." And then part of the prosecution was a video of him, like, promoting the Oxford Cambridge boat race
In
and
Cambridge.
him in Cambridge rowing a boat down.
I hate to laugh, it's just I'm laughing at the absurdity of it.
It's absurd. Anyway, sorry to bring Bob Harrison to this, I don't know where that came from.
Listen, Loraine, we're really sorry. You've sent us a great script and we've smattered it with our own
Nonsense.
purgatory, our own nonsense. Colin, really has to be spelled out for you, numbnuts. So who's it going to be? Who gets that spot? Now, God told me that the two of you would determine that. Oh, Colin, how so? Oh, do! Mary, guess we'll find out what's the last thing you both recall before you woke up here. Matt and Colin think to themselves. Flashback, external city sidewalk, day. Matt and Colin are standing next to a busy street, arguing. Colin, admit it, you got my girl drunk and banged her at that party. My girl. Oh, Colin. Colin shoves Matt. Matt shoves him back. Matt, listen, for starters, she was already drunk when I got there. Secondly, she came on to me. This sounds like the dialogue Matt does not want read out in court. She was already drunk when I got there. Secondly, she came on to me. Last but not least, she ain't your girl. Y'all went on one date and she never called back. Colin, you always want what's mine, It's not my fault you're worthless drunk of a dad.
Whoa.
Bailed on you and didn't teach you how to be a real man. Oh, Colin.
Oh, man. Send it to Clubber Lang.
Woman, I saw you a real man. Woman. Yeah. Clubber. Enraged, Matt shoves Colin. But Colin trips and falls into the road, striking his head, knocking him out cold. Matt looks to his left, just in time to see a car speeding towards Colin's unconscious body. Colin! Colin! Matt jumps into Broad and grabs Colin by the shirt. Off screen, we hear a car horn screech. Large, oh yeah, now we know. Large open room day.
These two are like Harry Dunn and Lloyd Christmas, aren't they? Dumb and Dumber.
I was picturing them. One of them was a blonde and one was not, yeah. I'm thinking Ryan Dunn and Bam Margera.
Okay, there you go. Oh God, man, Bam wasn't Ryan Dunn killed by a car?
Yeah, he was killed dangerous driving or something.
Oh man.
Yeah. And Bam Bam's back in rehab.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, man. I saw a thing. Sorry to go off on another tangent. I saw a thing like it was a picture of Steve-O. Did you come with me to watch Steve-O in the Liverpool Students' Union? Yeah. So
don't try this at home, Tor.
No one knew that Steve-O at that time was like so medicated.
Yeah.
And like he was, yeah. He was living that rock star lifestyle.
Oh my God.
Steve-O gave up everything. I don't know how many years ago. It was a while ago now. But there was a photo of him way back with like just looking all sorts of fucked up.
He was on like all the bad drugs, wasn't he?
All the bad drugs. All the drugs. Like there's a photo of him looking all sorts of fucked up. And then it must be an anniversary, I don't know, 10, 20 years, whatever it is. He recreated the photo but with like guava and broccoli. Like he's veggie, he juices.
No
he's
way.
off. He looks $1 million.
Wow, oh, that's good. That's great.
I know, it's great. And they were like, who thought that Steve-O was the one who'd get his shit together?
Yeah. I always, out of all those guys, I always really like Steve-O.
Right? There was this
so
gormless, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
But he was pretty inoffensive. And on the same note, I never liked Bam Margera. I thought he was horrible.
Yeah, right? And you know what? Bam's looking more and more like Phil, his dad.
His face is growing out. Like,
yeah.
You know the way a baboon's face gets flaps wrapping around his sides? It's going a bit like that, isn't it?
Okay, so it's those two.
Oh, okay.
Colin looks at Matt incensed. Huh, I remember. This is your fault. I'm so sorry, man. I didn't mean for it to happen. I tried. You killed me. Period.
Hey, man, it was just a goof.
Hey, man. You're right. It's my fault. Please, forgive me. Forgive you? I'm not gonna forgive you. Just like I'm not letting you have that spot in heaven. It's yours, says Matt. I don't deserve it. You're only here because of me. I deserve to be punished. Colin turns to Mary. Colin, you heard it yourself. He doesn't want that spot. It's mine. Mary nods. It seems the decision has been made. You're damn right, says Colin. Mary walks over to Matt and takes his hand. Mary. Congratulations, Matthew. The last spot goes to you. Whoa, flipped it. What? Says Colin. I don't understand, Matt says. You said that the two of you would decide. As the old saying goes, actions speak louder than words.
This is very Red Dwarf, this, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
There's like a court case where there's like a voice, like overruled, and like this big booming voice, and it sort of flips things round, and like what they say. It's like a court case that in the mind or something. What's the episode? It doesn't remind me of that.
I know what you mean. Mary glances at Colin, unimpressed. And only one of you have shown a heart worthy of heaven. So what happens to me? Asks Colin. As you so eloquently said, does it really have to be spelled out? A black hole surrounded by flames suddenly appears underneath Colin. He falls into the abyss, screaming in horror. The end.
Yeah, but the music in Hell's going to be better, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. The musicians down there, you're going to see better shows, aren't you?
Yeah, so that black hole's going to open up and you're just going to hear, like, as if you're in the toilets of, like, a metal gig, and then it gets louder and louder as you open the door.
And the open door of Holy Diver! It's Ronnie James Dio!
And you're going to be falling into that, aren't you? So, yeah, it's not too bad.
I mean, yeah, every cloud.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, well done, Loraine. I really enjoyed that script. That was great.
Wonderful. Good job, Loraine.
Yeah, some fun characters there. And I like that you introduced a trans character with absolutely no trans stereotypes attached, and no no silly jokes.
Yeah,
So,
right.
I thought that was cool. It's not often that you read about scripts with characters that is trans for like the sake of it, which is great. I think there should be more of that.
Yeah, here, I'm with you.
Too right.
Very good. Okay. So you wanna pick up Lorraine's obviously will be considered, but that announcement that you put on Reddit about our competition.
Yeah, so basically, when this episode comes out, the Oscars are only a couple of weeks away. So we started this podcast in November 2020, so it's still quite new. We haven't even been doing it for a year. I think it's getting on.
This is our 20th episode.
Episode 20, and it's still don't think it's quite 6 months. Anyway, the Oscars are coming up, and we think it'd be fun if we were to give out an award for Best Screenplay. And there's still time to submit your screenplay as this episode is, being aired on the Friday. So keep sending us your screenplays. What we'll do, possibly the next episode, I think me and Stu put together a shortlist, and then we'll put out a poll on Reddit, on Twitter. I think we'll read out the shortlist on the next episode too, so you can email your selection. Also, I think might be whatever we decide, maybe out 4 or 5 on the shortlist. If you don't follow us on Twitter or Reddit, then please just email us your selection. But we'll go through the whole thing on next week's episode, and we'll give an award for Best Screenplay. And every year, we're hoping, as long as we're doing this podcast, there'll be an award for Best Screenplay. So if you win, the 2021 to coincides with the Oscars, and I think we'll announce it around the same time as the Oscars, you'll hold that award for a year. You'll be the Bad Screenplays Best Screenplay for the whole 12 months.
We should get a little trophy made.
We should get,
and we should ship it out. We'll FedEx it. How about that?
We should do that. We should get the t-shirt made and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just get some merch done and give that out too. I should get merch made anyway, and just if people want to wear a Bad t-shirt or a mug or something like that.
There you go.
We should do that. But yeah, we should get a trophy made, man. That's a great idea. So yeah, we'll talk about that on next week's episode. We'll also talk about log lines. If you want to send us your log line as well as your bad scripts, that would be fantastic also. But yeah, in the meantime, just keep sending us your scripts. We love it. We love reading these.
We do, and we hope you like listening. If you enjoy Bad Screenplays, please tell a friend and subscribe.
Yeah.
And we will see you next Friday for another episode.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Calling a Martin on a fray, ended up in purgatory. Only one will turn out well, and the other's gone to hell. Married to